Hello, welcome to West Enemy Sims. My name is Kelvin, and how are you doing? We are back with another speed build. This time around, I'm going to build the Gothic library for our spooky season, Halloween, coming next month. So if you like what you see in this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to West Enemy Sims for more updates on retro Sims content. Currently, we are still on our road to 2,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Hopefully I can reach that. So if you like what you see, go give it a support. Thank you so much for supporting me this far for the past 2 to 3 years. So it is pretty exciting. And speaking of which, happy birthday to The Sims 2, 20 years of our fun game that is still heartwarming, still exciting to play. Yup, and I'm still building with The Sims 2, and I still think The Sims 2 building options is still quite good and easy to use once you get a hang of it. Yup, and I'm still building The Sims 2, so it is still alive and kicking for our Sims 2 community. Now, going back to our speed build, this is a Gothic style library. I have made a Google search on what is Gothic architecture looks like, and wow, the details and the artistry for a Gothic style architecture is definitely very hard to replicate in The Sims. But I will try to use a lot of glass art windows like in the cathedrals in France and other countries in Europe that has a Gothic style architecture. A lot of beams, a lot of curved arches, and definitely a lot of detailing in the walls and in the columns as well. So yeah, initially I want to make it a nice pale yellow brick, but it doesn't work out that well. Then I switch it to a slightly white brick, a little bit more less dark Gothic instead of going for a lighter Gothic this time around. Usually when I heard Gothic means dark and edgy and very punk kind of a style, but it's very ancient. It's very historically very significant in European architecture. So the roofing is the huge problem or challenge, I would say, in building this library. So initially I just want to use a high angled gable roof, but it doesn't work out to look really nice, the things that I want. And I eventually use these roof pieces from Apartment Life, which has the really high slope, which is what I want in this Gothic style architecture. And yeah, very high sloping roofs, which is one of the main key features in Gothic architecture. And also detailing, I try to use a lot of columns and a lot of different architectural details to make it look more fancier and more detailed, especially and using those stone fences to make it look even more having a little bit more structure into this build. And definitely using those very detailed medieval stained glass walls. And I remove a lot of items to make a more detailed out shell. I'll definitely spend way more time on the outside instead of focusing on the inside. Inside is a little bit more easier to do. I would say it's very open concept with a lot of arch columns, tons and tons of bookcases only. And I didn't really section off a lot of rooms in this library, just basically just a lot of bookcases and some spaces to read and some tables for group discussions on the second floor, some personal space, private workstations like that for Sims to do their assignments for university. And one thing I added on is to add on spikes or spires on the roofing, because I just noticed they in Gothic architecture, this use a lot of these high spikes to make it look taller and more grand. Or the spires we have in The Sims 2 only have the Far Eastern type ones, so definitely has a mix of nonsensical item elements that do not really make sense, but they get the form or the structure or the style that is close enough to replicate the architecture style. So there's a sweeping staircase leading up to the second floor, and at the back I'll just put the bathrooms at the back. And split into two different wings at the second floor, which is the readings, personal workstations, and also some discussion tables for group settings. And I line the arch columns with the columns below to make it an illusion of a very tall column. But in the middle, I have to use a floor tile to make it look less awkward, because there's a gap in between the columns of the first and second floor. So yeah, that is some challenge that I have to go through, because replicating this architecture is definitely not an easy task, and I hope it's close to what I want to achieve. And definitely using a lot of dark colors for the dark academia Gothic look to make it a little bit more eerie, a little bit more spooky looking in a sense. So other than the 20th anniversary of The Sims 2 recently, The Sims 4 as well has celebrated its 10th birthday. I can't believe that game has lasted that long, and so far, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So yeah, that is quite concerning that Sims 4 is still wants to go on for so long, in spite there's a lot of the buggy mess or Sims 4 players complain about. And yeah, and there's a lot of new news coming up for the future of The Sims, and so far it is not looking far too pleasing for me as a long-time Sims player. It just shows that Sims 4 is going nowhere, and Project Renee is going to be pretty much almost the same as what The Sims 4 is trying to be, trying to upsell everything, not to give a lot of things in the base game, multiplayer, which is controversial, and I also heard the use of AI. Generative AI is a pretty controversial topic, so leave me down in the comments. AI is not going to go anywhere, I will admit. They were going to use it in some form or the other. So yeah, what do you guys think about generative AI? So far, I'm not too pleased about generative AI. It's the only branch of AI I'm not very pleased about. The rest of the AI, like text-to-speech AI, a search engine that is assisted by AI, or AI assisted gameplay, which is from the NPCs, that is also AI. Yeah, some AI is definitely helpful, and some are more controversial. Definitely the generative AI that using images or prompts to generate artwork or CC. And there is no sign of The Sims 5 coming out, and people assume that Project Renee is The Sims 5. I would definitely disagree on that because there's no indication they was talk about that being replacement of The Sims 4. So yeah, this pretty much confirms it because they also plan to run Sims 5 concurrently with The Sims 4. So it's definitely not a new generation of The Sims, I would say, for Project Renee. So so far it's nothing much to say about Project Renee until it really comes out with a trailer of some sort. Going back to the build. So far I've done the furnishing, definitely put chandeliers and some candle holders to make it a little bit more closer to very dark and edgy style. It's looking very traditional looking, and for the landscaping on the outside, definitely make it look autumny, more barren, with a stone fence lining up around. I try to use stone fence instead of iron fence this time around because all the time I try to use Gothic or spooky vibes for any build. Always the iron fence is without fail is going to make an appearance, trying to make it a little bit different but still convey the whole dark and spooky looking atmosphere around, and definitely spray paint a lot of very good brownish and yellowish grass all around, textures with a lot of sand and dirt to make it look less green. And also over the course of building this build, I definitely made a little bit of a structural change. As you'll see in the later part of the video, I have make it a little bit more wider in the sides and at the back to make it look more wider and grander, and also having the sides having a little bit more of a window detail at the sides, so you don't look a little bit weird at the edges. And yeah, and put in a lot of detail on the top with a little bit of a statue to give a little bit more look like a gargoyle, but we don't have a gargoyle. I think the gargoyle existed in the Sims 2 store CC, so yeah, definitely not using that for this build. Okay, that's pretty much all I want to say about The Sims 2 Gothic Library. What do you guys think? Please give me a comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to West Enemy Sims for more updates on retro Sims content. The link to download this build as well as the screenshots to this build will be down in the description below, as well as my social media channels, Instagram and Tumblr. Please do give these channels a follow. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!